like a little tiny bit of vulnerability, and then I grab it and double down, and I'm like, oh yeah, every person I know is broke, right? Like they'll say something like, I've been struggling a little bit to have consistent revenue over the months. And I'm like, literally every single business person is completely and totally broke and lying for the first 5 years. And that moment of like, let's just be honest about what is happening and where we're at allows you to get the help you need and gives you the ability to have the clarity that you need, which is
and get the help that you need for your actual true situation and not some hypothetical that you're hoping to be in and you're presenting to the world.
Chris, are you raising your hand on purpose?
Yes, Miss A, we have technical error. The slides are not showing on the Facebook.
Oh, let's stop and start again.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Uh-oh, but I figured out computers. Let's see if I can figure out computers twice. Look at me, I'm so good.
And recording too, please. Thank you.
Sorry?
Permission to record.
Yeah, please.
Thank you.
Okay, great. So sorry for the technical errors today. It's just, I don't know, the end of the month or a full moon or something. I don't know. So today we are talking about where things break and why they break. Lots of stuff breaks. You're going to have problems, and they're going to be your problems, and they're going to be specific to you and to your business. This is intended to be teaching that can apply to you regardless of where you are. We're going to talk about overcoming overwhelm, a little bit about decision fatigue and where it comes from, and then about freedom, because that's why I think we all got into this life in the first place, was to achieve our own idea of freedom. Anything to add here, Eddie?
No, I think this pretty much sums it up, so we can dig in.
Okay, that's housekeeping. What is going on? Like I said, I started my business to feel free, and life feels a lot heavier often as business grows. So what is going on there? I'm gonna give this to you, Eddie, actually.
Yeah, so I think that I have a similar sort of background. I think we've had sort of parallel arcs in our entrepreneurial journey. And I've found that as I was growing my business, a lot of life stuff was quite wobbly. So I have 4 kids. They're all boys. Most of them have ADHD. The others have just not been diagnosed. And because they're all boys, there's just constantly stuff breaking around me and a lot to keep track of. Doing it on my own while being in a massive build phase in the business has been felt like trying to do the job of like 10 people with my one brain and body.
Yeah.
And I realized that I do need systems, which I actually was very good at, like implementing those in the business. Whereas when it came to my life, it was always like the business systems did not translate directly. You cannot take, I don't know, like Asana or some project management software and be like, okay, this is the, this is the shopping, like grocery channel. This is the school stuff. Like it doesn't translate as well because it overshoots and like over engineers the solution. And as Abigail was saying in the beginning, we need it, like the solution. The solution is not more solutions or more bombastic solutions. Yeah. The solution is actually simplifying as much as possible, and that was like my thread where I sort of picked this up and started realizing, okay, I need to majorly simplify. And I think that's going to relate to what we're talking about next.
Yeah. Like you just, this nagging feeling, right, that we have at the bottom here. I know where I want to go, but I'm not sure that my actions are leading me there. And it's you can't really put your finger on it. It's just this like niggling feeling of like, and it prevents you from leaning all in, and it prevents you from really hitting your goals hard. And like, you don't really show up the way you want to. And because you don't really believe that what you're doing is allowing you to head where you want to be heading.
It creates almost this imposter syndrome. I don't know if like you can relate, or people in here, like in the crowd, can relate. Because you're doing everything that you know how to do in the business, and it's like working. And you know you're a good parent. You know you're like a solid adult in the world. But it's this constant, like you wrote here in the slides, like this, the nagging feeling is, okay, there's always that one thing that I'm not on top of. There's always going to be something that's going to surprise me. There's always the potential for something I did not expect to now break. And it's really hard to sustain the kind of energy and focus, and like I'll say also like confidence that you need to bring to a business when you have that nagging feeling about your life, your personal life. And then what happens is like it weighs you down, and the only way out of it is either solve it or be in complete denial of it. Like, compartmentalize, which like is, I do not recommend.
You can try, but it's going to definitely break down, right?
Eventually, it'll be
when everything is in your head.
Harder when it breaks.
It hurts really hard because you also don't necessarily know where the attack is coming from. And like you just said, the overwhelm doesn't come from work, most of it. We're good at our jobs.
Yep.
We are. But, and this slide, y'all are going to have to forgive me or come for me in the comments, I guess, if for being overly gendered. But for women, yeah, it's meds and meals and reminders and logistics and appointments and keeping the household running. You talked about your 4 kids. I have 2 girls. I was smarter than you and stopped after 2. And there's a lot that's going on. For men, that feeling of like, I'm not showing up totally the way that I want to be showing up, or the way that people expect me to be showing up. There's a misalignment between their expectation of me or my expectation of myself in this situation and how I'm actually showing up, which causes that same yuck.
Yeah.
And it all stays in your head. The things that you're not doing are open loops that are cluttered in your mind.
Exactly.
And you're in the water before the day started.
And it cannot like be overstated, the cost of that like constant hum of the open tabs and open loops that are in your mind.
It's because it's all the time. When you're sleeping, you're not really sleeping. When you're resting, you're not really resting. You're active constantly. Even your computer needs nappies. Even machines need rest and cool down time to work properly.
Yeah.
We're humans. Okay. Sorry. This is the one that gets me. This is the slide that starts at where I start to get angry, because this is where all the shoulds come in. I maybe I know what's wrong, maybe I don't know what's wrong, but I have about 1,000 million ideas of things that I could and should be doing that will fix this thing. And I can do every single one of them, right? We're talking to high achieving, very intelligent people. They have the capacity to do every single thing that's on their list.
Yeah.
Or not their list because it's in their head, right? That's the point. And everything is doable. But not all at once at the same time in a quality fashion simultaneously.
Yeah. And I think this goes like way deeper than just like, brute force prioritization. And if I can, is it okay if I like draw parallels to like revenue systems?
Please.
Yeah. Okay. So this is like exactly the kind of parallel that I see with the people that I work with, where they are extremely good at what they do. They have so many ideas. There are so many things they could and potentially should be doing. And each one of them could move the needle. But there's no way for them to ever complete that to-do list that they so optimistically make in the beginning of each day. And that's just in the business. That's without even accounting for everything going on in their personal life. And I think like a majorly valuable and overlooked skill is having the self-leadership to say, I see all these things. This one has like deserved my time today, and everything else will wait. And it's this this idea of letting some fires burn.
Yeah.
Because some things are true fires, and you need to have the self-leadership, the courage, the clarity, whatever, and the practiced muscle of saying, I get that this is urgent, but since it's not important, I'm willing to incur whatever kind of debt, whatever kind of damage or whatever from not doing this thing, because this is actually more important. And that's not an easy thing to do. And it applies both when you're trying to optimize for revenue and for, the equivalent in your personal life, which is quality time and balance and everything.
Yeah, you have to let it burn sometimes. Because otherwise it's going to burn anyways. It's just smaller fires all around. They compound.
Imagine that you have right now like one fire extinguisher. And you can only put out one fire, but that one fire, like you have to identify the fire that unlocks the other fire extinguishers, rather than wasting this one little bit of like juice that you have for doing on trying to put out all the fires and ending up with no fire extinguisher and no fires actually extinguished.
100%, because our capacity is finite. And energy is a resource. It's a renewable resource, but there's a cost for renewal. You have to go to sleep or do something to get more energy. It's not just infinite. And when you're before having that confidence in yourself or that ability to identify which fire needs to be extinguished right now, you just feel like general yuck. You just feel like crap, honestly. You're anxious and your brain hurts and you're like not doing things, and you know that you should be doing things, and then it makes you feel like ashamed of yourself. And it goes back to what we said at the beginning, is you're convinced that nobody else is going through any of this the same way that you are, because we don't show up authentically enough in the moment. We show up after having succeeded, after having overcome the hurdle to teach the people before you. No, we need to be in it together. Someone who's a half step ahead of you is the person who needs to teach you, not somebody who's 5 steps down the road.
Completely agree. I completely agree with that.
And if you are with us live and feel like you're one of those people and are sad that you're not going to hear the rest of this conversation, you still have time to register and